Now let's really talk about this goddamn movie. Cue the music. Guys, if you're here right now, then I mean you seen the movie Star Wars The Last Jedi, or you just don't give a shit about spoilers. Either way is completely fine. But we're gonna freely now talk about this movie. I may jump around bits and bits just from scenes that do come to my mind, but I will try to remain on topic as much as I can. Now, what I mentioned in my previous video, that there are some jokes in Star Wars The Last Jedi that don't really land in my opinion, and I did mention that one of them was with Poe Dameron. And there's a scene in the beginning where Poe Dameron is going to hunt in his fleet, and there was a whole "can you hear me now" type of joke in there, and I just didn't think it was really necessary. It fell out of place, and because it just seems you have HUD, saying the speech and all that stuff. I get what they were trying to do, make fun of that, and whatever, but I don't think it really felt well. It didn't really work that well. It didn't feel in tune or anything. Things that really did bother me when it came to the movie were the porgs. Oh my god, those porgs are annoying. They're in this movie way more than they need to. I can't stand them. I don't care how cute they are. They're fucking annoying. I was watching a movie, my girlfriend was just loving how cute they were. I don't give a shit about how cute they are. They suck. They don't mean anything. They don't do anything. Get rid of them. Don't bring them again in this next movie. Don't want to see them. And another scene that I didn't really like too much in the movie was the scene when they do go to, when Finn and Rose, they go to a casino because they're trying to find this hacker, and it was a fine scene. I just felt like it ran maybe a little too long. It made sense. I like what they did in there with the little boy who basically was inspired to become a rebel himself and whatnot. That was fine. I like that. That was cool. It's just that I guess it's the whole thing with these animal creatures are like horses or something. They're giant as hell, and there's just a chase scene with them riding that creature, and I feel like that just ran a little too long. I'm not saying it was a scene that wasn't necessary. I'm just saying it ran a little longer than it should have, in my personal opinion. So far, that's all the bad things that, for me personally, that I think I can really think about with it. But other than that, let's think about all the good. Poe Dameron is great in this movie. Like I said, Oscar Isaac really does throw in good work with his character. I really do enjoy him. And like I said before, there are 4 plots fills in this movie. You have Poe Dameron in his situation, you have Finn and Rose in their situation, you have Rey and Luke in their situation, and you have Kylo Ren in his situation. And when it comes to going through the process of what the Force is, and when they show for Rey's training, you can kind of intertwine with Rey and Kylo Ren's situation. And I thought the movie did a really good job with that, by the fact that what they did with Luke, and it's really understandable how, and despite the fact that Mark Hamill said he really didn't agree with most of the decisions that Rian Johnson did with his character, but the way Luke was, it made complete sense. He should be a broken person, a person that doesn't even want to be a Jedi of sorts, or wants to have anything that associates with that. But the scene where he does take the lightsaber, he kind of just chucks it over, and you could call that scene. You could really call that was going to happen just from the setting, the mood of how the music was playing, and everything. I don't like he should have threw it, but it's completely fine. It's whatever. But I do like what they do with his character, and the fact that he is, like I said before, a broken person. He feels terrible for his past. He feels bad. He feels like he let his sister down. He let his best friend down, and you see more backgrounds about what happened between him and Kylo Ren. You get it from both their point of views. From Luke's point of view, when he sensed the darkness inside Kylo Ren, he saw what Kylo could become. He saw what he would do. And then there was a flittering moment of him wanting to kill Kylo Ren. And I know many people didn't like the fact that that doesn't go right with Luke's character, but it did work. It was good. He's a different person. Because last time we seen Luke, besides Force Awakens, was the Return of the Jedi. We don't know what all he's been through from this point. We don't know what type of person he is at this point. You see from Kylo Ren's perspective, and it was basically his mentor / his uncle betraying him and trying to kill him at that moment. He saw when the lightsaber was on, even though it was on for a flittering second. So that initiated a thought in his mind which made him destroy the whole temple. which is why he has problems in himself. There's still more problems in him that we're just not getting from the background stories, because there's still more to his story that we just don't know that's really leading to this point. Though that his aggression is towards Luke, there is some that feels like it's towards his parents as well. What they do with the Force in this movie is amazing. It's completely amazing in my opinion, because what we mainly always seen the Force as, you know, like what Luke says, well, how Reyes says it, to move rocks and move objects and all that whatnot. That's not completely right in what the Force is. And I like when Luke explains it to her. She puts her hand on the ground and you see all the rocks move, and then the ground cracks and she's just seeing different visions of polar opposite things, and it's an amazing scene. And then you see more into the Force where you have Rey and Kylo Ren speaking to one another. They could see each other in the same area. They could see each other. They don't know where one another is, but they could definitely see each other and they're speaking. And I thought that was a great dynamic. Honestly, it was really fantastic. How else are you going to have these people speak to each other? Where you going to wait till they get on the ship with each other? No. I thought they did a hell of a good job with that. I honestly don't get why people are complaining about what they did with the Force. Do you guys fucking know what the Force is? Do you know how it works? Did you create the Force? Get the hell over it. Man, it's amazing. And then you see the Force be pushed to a limit that nobody even knew it could actually do. For God's sakes, there's a scene, the last scene that you get with Luke is that, and like I said, guys, this is a spoiler review. If you don't want to be spoiled here, might as well check out. Anyways, where Luke is Luke came to, help out all the rebels and everybody, to stop Kylo Ren, because, man, their backs are all against the wall, man, the stakes are all against them, man, it sucks. And then he comes, he sees his sister, he's just like, hey, how's it going? Not really, hey, how's it going, but, they greet each other, they haven't seen each other in so long, gives her a kiss on the forehead, leaves her a necklace of sorts, and then he heads out there, about to go duke it out with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren sees him, he has all these damn new AT-ATs fire at him, and then Luke's just brushing it off, and then the land that they're on, I'm sure you've seen it in the trailer, but they're on this land that it seems like it's ice, but when you walk on the platforms, it makes this red dust, which like red salt. When Kylo Ren comes down there, he keeps trying to fight Luke, and Luke's just dodging, bobbing, and weaving all his moves, and it turns out that it's not actually Luke, it's just, and I'm not going to say a hologram because it could come off that way, but it's just an illusion that he projected, and you just see him levitating, using the Force, because this entire movie you have not seen Luke use the Force. He's really broken himself off with the Force. He's become out of tune with the Force, but then he musters all that he can with it, and it tries as hard as he can, and then when he's using that enough to be a distraction, and he gives it all he got, he disappears like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's a clutch scene. It's an amazing scene. I love it so much. It's one of the best scenes in the movie. I fucking love it. What a great send-off to a great character. The man that is known as a legend, who now was hurt. The man that's known as a legend, who now fell from grace, now redeemed himself as much as he thought he could. It's amazing. I love it. Great ending to his story. If we see him in the 9th one, I don't even mind. And speaking of seeing somebody that, supposedly gone now, you get Yoda in this movie. Yes, guys, you get Yoda. Man, that's a great scene. And you don't get the Yoda that we got from the prequels, all the CGI and shit. Nah, you get the Yoda from fucking Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Epic. I like that. Smart, cool, nostalgic, and clever. I like it because he's speaking to Luke, and if you honestly Yoda didn't speak to Luke, I don't think Luke ever really came to help everybody, but he does come. He speaks to Luke because Luke is talking about the Old Testaments of the Jedi religion. They literally say Jedi religion, and I don't recall ever hearing them say Jedi religion, but I'm glad they said it, because everybody sees being a Jedi as a religion. Thank you. Say it. It's a religion. Damn it. But yes, and he even goes to Luke, have you even read them yourself? And at one point, Luke is about to destroy the tree that holds all the Jedi Testaments. But at the same time, he's having a hard time really conjuring the process of actually doing it and trying to burn it. Like Kylo Ren said, let the past die, kill it if you have to. And Yoda, and this is one thing people did, like, what the fuck about, how is Yoda able to summon basically lightning, strike down a tree, and burn the whole tree down? I get the question, but it's a fucking movie. It's a movie about space warriors with a religion and a freaking bald guy with a burnt face. What do you want? Damn, you want an explanation for everything? It's a sci-fi movie. Nothing makes goddamn sense in those. But what you can say is that Yoda is really strong. He is that in tune with the Force. He's always been a real strong person. We all already knew that. We just never see him to his max. We all never seen Yoda to his max. So who are we to decide, wow, that doesn't make any sense. How the hell is he able to do that? You need an explanation for everything? Don't worry, I got a video for you guys. And there's an actress that they add in here. She looks familiar. I forgot the character name and everything because she was just a cunt in my opinion. But she does redeem herself because, basically, long story short, Leia gets incapacitated because if you guys do remember the scene where it seems like Kylo Ren was about to shoot at Leia, he doesn't. It's actually his stormtroopers that end up doing the shooting, and then Leia basically gets shot out of space, and she's like floating, but you think she's gonna die at that moment. And I don't blame anybody for thinking she was gonna die. Hey, I thought she was gonna die in this movie too because, you know, the late great Carrie Fisher, you know, she passed. We get her daughter Billie Lourd in here, and they do give her more scenes. I hope they do more with her and the next movie as well, of course. But she's floating out in a drift, and you know she seems like she's about to die. But you guys have to remember she is force sensitive, and that's what some people I know didn't like either. That she was floating and all that, and like was able to come back to the ship. But guys, she's a Skywalker. She's force sensitive. Trust me, she's been through some years. She should know a thing or two. Like, get off the case. She looks like Mary Poppins. I don't give a shit. Mary Poppins the shit. So be Mary Poppins. Damn. Who gives a damn? They did it in Guardian of the Galaxy 2. Might as well do it in this one. Shit, Disney. After Leia does that, she is incapacitated for the time being. And she seems like she's a little comatose at the moment. So they do get a second in command, who, I forgot her name, but it's this lady with purple hair. And she takes the role. And she seemed like she wants everybody to eventually... It seems like her way of thinking is a little different from Leia's. And then afterwards, she wants everybody to flee because they're being traced by the First Order through hyperspeed. The First Order has discovered a way of tracking people and following people through hyperspeed, which is amazing. I love that. That's cool as hell. Jesus Christ, that's fucking awesome. They're tracking them through hyperspeed. That's why Finn and Rose... And Rose, you get more about her background, and you do learn that in the beginning of the movie. Because in the beginning of the movie, like I mentioned with Poe Dameron, she has a sister that was a part of the fleet that was trying to attack the First Order when Poe Dameron went over there to track them. Because Poe Dameron was like, yeah, you know, we could probably take out this ship now. And they basically did, but at the same time, you got a lot of people killed, man. There's no getting behind that. You have made a lot of lives died, and her sister was one of them. And her sister, she was actually essential to getting things done as well. And then that motivated Rose, because Rose is just a tinkerer as far as I'm concerned. That's all she did. She was people that were engineered stuff, and she came out to the front, and I like that. It actually made her character grow. Her being with Finn kind of helped her grow. She helped Finn grow. It was a great scene together for them. And that's when you find out a little bit more about her when they do go to the casino place. That's the only reason I really do like the casino place. And as well as you get to meet Benicio del Toro, because that's a stutter. So that's kind of cool. But other than that, I do think that casino scene was a little long. But there are nice little cameos when you go to the casino scene. You even got Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't blame you guys, you don't know if he was in there, but he is. I said, guys, I was going to get off topic every now and then. But the lady with the purple hair, that's the best thing I could call her as. She does... She has a plan apparently to where she wasn't going to let any of the rebels know of her plan of them to escape and everything to their actual main base that's like on a planet and all, and that's cool. But the First Order saw them going, and the First Order was trying to stop them from getting there, but she was on still the main ship of the rebels. Sorry if you guys are getting confused, and kind of confusing you here, but if you've seen the movie you should know what I mean. And then when she's still on that ship, she does something that is so badass. It was such a great scene. I'm going to put a pause on that scene, and then I'm going to go to Rey, because it kind of connects with that. Because it is epic either way. Like I mentioned before, Rey and Kylo Ren are talking to each other. And as they do talk to each other, they do both see that they do have problems, family issues, and that they do feel alone in this world. But if they were with one another, they may not feel alone. And not like no lovey-dovey bullshit. It's just that they need somebody that with them. Because at first, Rey just hates Kylo Ren when she first sees him. She calls him scum, everything. Oh, how can you kill your own father? Oh, you're a fucking monster. Fuck you. But then she starts to see a little glimmer of good in him. It ends up making her go to the First Order's base, which is Snoke's ship. And when she gets there, she's already caught. It's already basically a trap in right there at that moment. And then Kylo Ren takes her to Snoke's place. Kylo Ren takes her to Snoke's base, and then when they're there, Snoke's all yada yada yada. Snoke's just a real asshole in this movie. He's just a real complete asshole. Just talking about Kylo Ren, man, when I met you, you know, I saw raw power. Man, you're amazing and everything. But I guess I was fucking wrong. Oh, man, what a dick. But he's trying to get information out of Rey. Where is Luke? Show me where he is. But she's not saying anything. That's where you see her levitating. And she's just in so much pain. Oh, it was amazing. But it seemed, you know, him shitting on Kylo Ren so goddamn much was really getting to Kylo Ren. And then that eventually, spoiler alert, gets Snoke's killed. And I know many people say, oh man, you didn't really do much for Snoke, man, you didn't know about his character. Yeah, that's true. But fuck Snoke. Bottom line, fuck Snoke. He kills him, cuts him in half, basically, and then they just duke it out with all these red tampon-headed looking guys. Man, that fight was amazing. Those guys look pretty dope. Not gonna lie, their weapons are amazing. Love it. Goddamn, the whole fight scene was cool. At one point, I thought some of them might die. Like I thought Rey and Kylo Ren might die. But nah, there's killing in here. They're killing. No getting around that. They're killing the shit out of all of them. And then when the fighting's all said and done, you know, you start to think that, okay, I guess Kylo Ren is gonna come, you know, and help Rey and everybody. And at that moment, I was thinking to myself, well, if Snoke is dead, then who's the main antagonist now? Who's the main threat that Rey's gonna have to fight with a lightsaber duel? Because you know we want to see a lightsaber duel. And then Kylo Ren's telling her, there's no need to be a First Order. There's no need to be a dark side. There's no need to be a light side. Me and you could be the in-between and we can make our own. And that's what's great about this movie, which I would love to get in more details in my next video that I would do, expressing the positive about this movie to defeat the negatives. And I love that. Since it was entertaining because there really is no good and there's no bad anymore. Like Luke said, it's time for the time of the Jedis to die. And that's kind of what happens. In a way, that's kind of what's happening. Because Rey, honestly, she's not officially a Jedi. It's a possibility that she could be a Jedi, but she could begin a New Testament. Because when you find out about her origin, she came from nothing. And many people don't like that as well. Like, oh wow, you didn't do much with her origin, man, that sucks, she came from nothing, what the hell? Well, think about it. Yes, I know Anakin Skywalker came from midi-chlorians, but think, he was a slave. His mom was a slave. I'm not saying that, I'm glad they didn't say anything about Rey from midi-chlorians, because please don't say that, that's fucking dumb. And why does everything need to connect? Why does every character have to connect to one another? Oh, because it's Star Wars? Kylo Ren is sticking to what he's saying, and I think that's what this whole movie is. It is where everybody has to learn. Some people are learning, but they're not going through with it. Some people are staying completely evil or completely good. And look what happened to Snoke. He died. And Kylo Ren, he doesn't like the fact that Rey doesn't want to join him, and you could tell that she doesn't want him to be back, because she's just telling him, no, don't do this right now, don't. But he has his own mindset. He has an agenda. He's now basically the new emperor. And and then when they're both trying to grip for the lightsaber, you see it levitating. They're both pulling for it, and it's so amazing because at that moment, the purple hair lady goes in, does hyperspeed, does the hyperdrive, and it goes through the goddamn ship, tearing it apart. That scene was amazing because it's in slow motion, no sound. Love it. Let's talk about what if somebody did that and tear through the goddamn ship just using that. It makes complete sense. It honestly makes complete sense. I love it. I mean, you'll die doing it, but I'm fine. Let me wrap this up real quick because videos are spending pretty long. I'm pretty sure I expressed enough that the movie is great, guys. You really should check it out. I think it is phenomenal. Definitely different vibe from when you get in The Force Awakens, but I think you guys really would enjoy it. But like I said before, do comment if you didn't like it. Express your reasons. I hope they're logical reasons. I hope they actually make sense, because some people are just throwing stupid ass reasons out there. No, but dude, let me know what your reasons are, and shit. I mean, I'm making a video for that, so hey, by all means, you probably hear me reference a comment of yours, and as well as there any other movies, animes, or anything else like cartoons or TV shows they want me to talk about. Then by all means, comment below. And if there's any other Star Wars movies that you think are better or you wish for me to review, yeah, comment below. Except for Rogue One, I'm not doing that shit. But don't fail to ring that bell, like if you dare, subscribe if you care. And key on for miles.
I'm like a star, I'm burning out fast. I try to shine, but it's never gonna last.